Have a seat. I come bearing drinks. Booze free, of course. You're welcome. Ah, well, that's what being home is all about, right? Letting go, feeling at ease. Figure we both deserve that after all this time. You think so? Glad to hear it. There's no place like home. That's what people say, right? The expedition took me far and wide, and still, little alcohol in my system, it would all come back. The cathedral, the statue, the windmills in the city, the pigeons and dandelions in front of the gate. The further away you get, the more you miss it. I might be biased, but it means a lot that you care about this place. I get that. The people are what make Mondstadt what it is, too. All the carefree kids running around, livening up the place. Which reminds me, I never thanked you for helping Mondstadt out back then. It takes a special person to do what you did. Most people are helpless in the face of abyssal corruption. Considering their target was Dvalin, things could have been bad. I suppose Barbados could have handled it, even though he hadn't been awake for long. But still, I doubt the ending would have turned out quite so perfect. Dvalin is family to him, you know? Having to choose between the dragon's life and Mondstadt's safety, that would have been cruel. Not to mention, the Wild Hunt would have reached our borders sooner or later. We'd have been stretched thin without your help. Maybe you've never put two and two together, but what you did in Natlan also helped reduce the threat of the Wild Hunt. If Natlan's crisis hadn't been resolved, the two abyssal powers might have joined forces at some point, making our situation even more dire. Ha! Look at us, taking down the Abyss in two separate nations. Doing the Knights of Favonius proud, aren't we? I guess not. In any case, for a knight, honor is something you get to define for yourself, no matter what the outside world thinks. And that's the question, isn't it? Why do we do what we do? But I think it's safe to say you already know the answer.
Ah, so this is where you've been hiding. You know, I don't think this was designed for sitting.
Ha! When did you become such a stickler? Come have a drink with us. There's plenty.
Don't mind if I do. Grape juice? Again?
You know, Charles would never let me hear the end of it if I started drinking without him.
Disappointing, but understandable. Oh, I almost forgot. Since this banquet is also for the actors, I invited Dvalin.
All right. Might hike up the bill a bit, but who cares? Haven't seen him in too long.
Yeah, well, he turned me down. He never did like being the center of attention. The city is a little too small for him to spread his wings. Even if no one is afraid of him, he could still take out a windmill or two. Guess it's better not to risk it.
Huh. Maybe it's time to draft a proposal to build him a landing pad.
The Traveler's right. If this is what makes him comfortable, might as well let him be. In the meantime, I propose a toast to our honorary knight.
To our honorary knight.
I often think about our parting at Windrise, you know. And now, almost in the blink of an eye, the final stop on your journey is just around the corner. Snezhnaya. The Tsaritsa's plans have continued to advance. Now, only the Pyronosis remains free from her grasp.
But if even the captain couldn't take Malwika's Gnosis by force, I guess we don't need to be concerned about its safety for now. So that's good news, at least.
You wouldn't be taking a dig at someone else's ability to hold on to their Gnosis, now would you, Grandmaster?
Haha, of course not. I'm not one to rub salt in old wounds.
Her harbingers do often tend to take a rather extreme approach. Just look at Child or Senora. But we would be mistaken to ignore the fact that Senora did not win the Geonosis using force.
Right. You told me about the contract Morax signed with her before his death. You're saying she didn't need to resort to violence in Mondstadt either?
That's right. If she was able to provide a reason convincing enough to persuade Morax, she could have persuaded me no problem. I suppose she just didn't think there was a reason to negotiate. I had just woken up, so I must not have seemed like much of a threat. Honestly, the Gnosis was of no use to me. I didn't care who it belonged to or what means were used to take it. I just knew if I fought her in that moment, the cathedral, perhaps even the entire city, might have become collateral damage.
True. I wouldn't put it past Senora to take civilians as hostages either.
In the end, though, it was those same methods that led to her end. After all, her third target, the Raiden Shogun, wasn't a big negotiator back then. Perhaps Senora's success in Mondstadt and Liyue convinced her that she was a match for the Archon of any nation. You did the right thing. It pained me to see Inazuma as it was back then. I'm glad things have changed since. Of course, now the elite force of Harbingers has quite a few missing from its ranks, so I suspect that Tsaritsa no longer has the means to meddle in other nations like she used to. Who knows? Perhaps a chance to formally meet her in Snezhnaya might come sooner than we think.
Some of our knights remain stationed in Not Cry. If you need help, just say the word, and we'll be there.
The look in your eyes. It's changed a lot since you first set off from Mondstadt. But my advice remains unchanged. Never forget that the journey itself has meaning, traveler. The birds of Tevat, the songs in the cities, the Tsaritsa, her Fatui and the monsters, they are all part of that journey. Perhaps earth-shaking truths and indescribable trials await you at the end. Just remember, there is more to life than that. All right, that's more than enough acting like a real Archon for one night. And still, not a sip of drink for dear old Venti at a time like this? You're no fun, Varka.
Dun dun dun! Dun dun dun! Da da da! Da da da! This is so fun, Mom!
I think so too. Come on, let's blow them all up.
Mom, when can I play with the magic toy you made me?
Very soon, darling. In fact, it should be ready tomorrow. I just know you're going to love it.
Yay! Can we play together?
Why, of course. We'll have ourselves a splendid time.